It's Rebecca Tallon de Havilland. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Rebecca.
To both of you.
Look at you, so glamorous. I mean,
The two of you have been purring at each other for the last 3 minutes.
This way, I just woke up this way.
I know, you fell out of bed like that.
Yes.
Rebecca, you have an incredible story. If we can, we might go back to the late 80s. And, you know, I think it would be fair to say that in the late 80s, did people know what being trans was?
Very good. No. I mean, we've got... the vocabulary today is so different to what it was. You know, like back then, it was called a sex change.
Yeah.
So I often think when you use words like that you kind of straight away fetishize it. Do you know what I mean? So
yes, yeah.
It was, yeah.
It becomes something different.
Yeah.
And it's not... It's been done for a different reason.
Absolutely, yeah. It was just literally called a sex change operation.
Because in 1991, you had reassignment surgery, the first in Ireland.
Yeah.
And when we spoke about it there, I was saying, what age were you? And you said 32. And you said you should have had it earlier. But, I mean, were you nervous going in doing something like this? I mean, when did you really know this was the right decision for you?
I think by the time, I think at that stage, every corner had been knocked off me. Like, literally. It was like a 50 pence piece. So, yeah, nerves did not come into it. It was relief as well, because I was diagnosed with and there again, language again was different. I was given an AIDS diagnosis in 1987. By the way, this is the first time I've actually ever spoken about HIV on Irish television.
Wow.
Because there was so much stigma around it.
Absolutely.
You know, I've done art, but this is my first actual time actually speaking to my own people about what I went through back then.
And that changed things because you were scheduled to have the operation at 88.
Yeah.
But because of that diagnosis, you were told, that's it.
Yeah, and it was
not gonna
quite
happen.
blunt. I was sat down and told I possibly have 2 years to live. And I said, what about my operation? Said, absolutely no way.
Did that change everything then in terms of, obviously, timing we know, but just even stigma and people's opinions around the surgery itself and what that meant for you?
The words that were said to me by the doctor said, and kind of like that kind of pathetic face, and what do I do? What do I do now? Yeah. And he said, well, I'd go home and tell my nearest and dearest. And I just thought, well, my nearest and dearest are just getting used to the fact of me having a sex change. And now I'm going to go home and tell them, I'm not having the sex change, but I'm going to die in 2 years' time.
Oh, God. So Rebecca was never on the cards, nearly?
No.
So how did you eventually then arrive at 1991 and the procedure?
I'm Irish. You know what I mean? I'm a bit of a terrier.
Yeah.
I thought, I've never conformed to anything. And I thought, so I just kept fighting until I found a surgeon. And I did find a surgeon who kind of was a proper surgeon, because he said, who do we know could have HIV or not have HIV? Why should we kind of not operate on people that we do know has it? So I found the surgeon, and he was amazing. And so the night before I go down for that operation, as you were saying there, Lisa, you know, for me, that's the time when it's your last shot. You know, you either go or you run. But I just wanted it so much. I was just so... I actually felt quite triumphant that I had gotten this far against all odds. The only thing is, I remember having to sign papers that there was a 50-50 chance that I wouldn't survive the operation, because it's a longer operation than open heart surgery. I think it was nearly 6 hours.
Oh, my God.
You know, and I said, well, anyway, I said, no matter what you do, promise me that you'll get rid, because please don't let me die the way I was born. You know, and he was very good. Anyway, you can see I lived.
Well, you lived
did.
and being very bountiful and glamorous. But, I mean, life wasn't always like it is now. And I think, obviously, with diversity and inclusion, because we're obviously speaking about it now, you are very much accepted now. But back in rural Ireland, things must have been very different in the early 80s. It must have been very tough.
It was, because I lost career, everything. I was a top hair and makeup artist, model agent. I owned Talon Models. I was hair and makeup artist, like did all Image magazine, You magazine, It, all of them, and beyond. And then one Sunday paper just kind of put me up. There was a photograph of me as a male model on one half of the page, and the other half did look like Lily Savage falling out of a nightclub, I have to be honest. So, and down the middle, it's like, can you believe this is an Irish man?
Oh.
Wow.
So that was Sunday morning.
So shamed.
Shamed.
Yeah.
And I'd say within a couple of weeks, my agency was gone. People were leaving because there again, the language was different.
Yeah.
And I would have had, from like any model agent has today, I would have had kids on my books,
Sure.
supermodels, the whole lot.
So the stigma was enormous.
As with everything, Rebecca, everything in terms of changing things, changing our attitudes, starts with education, you know, but it also starts with visibility, doesn't it? In
Yes.
terms of you being here and talking to us today, because there are going to be people who are sitting at home who might be affected by what you're talking about. And if they see you and see the journey you've made, does it help?
Yeah. I mean, for a long time, I kind of spent years trying to get back here. You know what I mean? Please,
Yeah.
Ireland, forgive me. And I think Ireland has forgiven me now. Why? I don't know why they even have to forgive me, but that's how it felt. But I think now my purpose is, and my visibility is, that I want to help other people like me. I look at my life a bit like a film. And, you know, you make a film, but you edit bits out so as you get the perfect film.
Yeah.
So I want to try and help edit those bits out that I had to go through to just be me. I've never wanted to be anything else, just myself, who is sitting here today. You know, I shouldn't have had to wait 64 years to be able to look in the mirror and say, I actually like you.